The story begins in 1960 in the Bronx, in a working-class Italian-American neighborhood. A man named Lorenzo works as a bus driver to support his wife, Rosina, and their 9-year-old son, Calogero. Calogero is fascinated by the Mafia and the underground dealings that take place in his neighborhood. One day, after Lorenzo drops him off at home, Calogero sneaks out to a bar that's popular among mobsters. There, Sonny, a powerful and feared Mafia figure, and his associates often gather. Calogero observes and describes the people who hang out at the bar. While the bar is owned by Tony Tupe, it's widely understood that Sonny is the real boss. Sonny's quiet and mysterious right-hand man is known as Jimmy Whispers. Suddenly, Calogero's mother storms in, drags him out of the bar, and scolds him for what he's done. When Lorenzo comes home from work, he reprimands his son and firmly warns him to stay away from that place. Lorenzo wants Calogero to grow up honest, far from the influence of gangsters. The next morning, Calogero and his friends, Slick and Mario, imitate Sonny's crew as they watch a heated argument on the street. Slick gets angry when he sees a bus full of black passengers passing by. Although Calogero tries to calm him down, Slick runs after the bus, shouting racial slurs. Concerned, Lorenzo calls out to Calogero. Shortly after, Calogero witnesses a violent altercation involving one of Sonny's men. The conflict escalates when Sonny pulls out a gun and shoots the attacker dead. Lorenzo, sensing danger, rushes in and pulls his son away to safety. The police arrive quickly and tell Lorenzo that Calogero was close to the shooting, hoping the boy will identify the gunman. But during the police lineup, Calogero denies seeing who fired the shots, refusing to point to Sonny's group. Later, Calogero looks for his father's approval. Lorenzo tells him that while his action may seem kind, it was done in favor of a bad man. The next day, as Lorenzo drops Calogero off at school, he notices a subtle gesture from Sonny. Later, one of Sonny's men boards Lorenzo's bus to thank him for Calogero's loyalty and offers Lorenzo a high-paying job. But Lorenzo refuses firmly, wanting nothing to do with their criminal world. One day, while Calogero is fixing his bike, one of Sonny's guys brings him to the bar. Sonny sees potential in the boy and hires him to help out. Calogero quickly begins earning large tips. Later, during a dice game, Sonny invites Calogero to try his luck. The boy rolls 11 winning throws in a row, earning Sonny a huge amount of money. Impressed, Sonny gives him a generous tip and nicknames him C. Sonny starts treating C like a son. As word spreads about their bond, people in the neighborhood begin treating C differently, with new respect. One day, while buying fruit, a vendor gives C some peaches for free, saying that Sonny told him to take care of the boy. Soon after, Lorenzo and Rosina discover C's growing stash of money and ask where it came from. Upon learning about his connection with Sonny, Lorenzo storms into the bar to return the money. Rosina protests, explaining they need the money, but Lorenzo insists, warning Sonny to stay away from his son. Sonny explains that the money is meant for C's benefit. He then asks Calogero to leave the room and speaks to Lorenzo. Though he shows Lorenzo some respect, Sonny is offended by his boldness and calls him out. Lorenzo, concerned about Sonny's materialistic influence, begs him to stay away from C. Sonny responds with a threatening warning. On their way home, a frustrated C demands his money back. During the argument, Lorenzo slaps him. C talks back, criticizing his father's work ethic and defending Sonny's view of the world. Lorenzo replies by emphasizing the dignity of honest work and the integrity it brings. He then apologizes for the slap and assures C that someday he'll understand. 7 years later, C is now a teenager. He's at the racetrack with Sonny and his crew. They place bets on a favorite horse named Kryptonite. But when a notoriously unlucky gambler begins cheering for the same horse, Sonny follows his gut and tears up the betting slips, predicting a loss. Curious, C stays behind to watch, and indeed, the horse loses. Later, C and his friends form a social group called the Juices Wild, their usual hangout. Tensions rise when a car with black passengers drives through their neighborhood. Although C tries to downplay it, his friends argue about how bold the newcomers are being. Lorenzo pulls up in his bus and offers C a ride. He tells him about a boxing match he's excited to watch the next day, but C barely listens. His eyes are fixed on a girl he sees in the distance. Later, C spots a man named Louis who owes him money. As he goes after him, Sonny stops C to ask what's going on. Sonny makes him think twice about starting trouble over something as small as a $20 debt. C is impressed by Sonny's wisdom. In response, Sonny opens up about his time in prison, hinting that he's made mistakes. He introduces C to the writings of Machiavelli, explaining the importance of staying grounded and connected to your roots. He also warns C to be mindful of personal and family interests. One day, a group of rowdy bikers dressed in scruffy gear enters Sonny's bar. At first, Sonny's assistant tries to keep them out, but Sonny decides to serve them himself. Trouble starts when they begin disrespecting the bartender. Sonny calmly locks the doors, making it clear they've made a big mistake. Moments later, Sonny's crew shows up and beats the bikers severely. In another scene, C and his friends meet an arms dealer showing off his weapons. When Sonny finds out, he's furious. He confronts the dealer and berates the entire group, except C. He warns them about the danger of getting involved with people like that. Sonny tells C that real strength doesn't come from guns or bad company. Eventually, C gets the chance to talk to the girl he'd been watching. To his delight, they discover they attend the same school. He makes up an excuse to walk with her and start a conversation. Her name is Jane, and they agree to go to the movies together. Later, as C and his friends hang out, they see a few black teenagers riding by on bikes. While his friends throw out slurs and insults, C tries to defuse the situation. Slick is confused by C's attitude but lashes out anyway, punching one of the boys and triggering a brawl. Though it seems like C joins the fight, he secretly tells one of the boys to stay down to avoid getting hurt further. When Sonny hears about the incident, he's furious. He warns C to stay away from his reckless friends, predicting they'll end up in a bad place. C later asks Sonny for advice about dating a black girl. Surprisingly, Sonny responds with support, saying what matters is how you feel and whether she makes you happy, not what others think. He even lends C his car for the date and teaches him the door test to judge her character. Still unsure, C brings up a hypothetical situation to his father. What if he were dating someone of another race? While Lorenzo says he has no hatred toward black people, he firmly believes in sticking with your own kind. C challenges this belief, hinting at his interest in Jane, but Lorenzo holds his ground. During the date, Jane brings up that her brother was recently jumped by Italian kids and asks if C was involved. Her brother shows up and accuses C of being one of the attackers. In frustration, C blurts out a racial slur, causing Jane to storm off in anger. When C returns Sonny's car, he gives a vague excuse about the date ending early. Later, Lorenzo scolds him for using Sonny's car and warns him again to stay away from the bar. C argues that Sonny trusts him, but Lorenzo questions that trust, saying there's a difference between respect and fear. That night, the Juice's wild hangout is vandalized. The group plans to strike back, but Sonny shows up and breaks them up. Angry, Sonny confronts C, asking about the car. He then reveals it could have contained something dangerous. Shaken, C tells Sonny he respects and loves him, almost like a second father. When Lorenzo shows up to intervene, Sonny punches him unexpectedly and warns him to be careful with his words. Later that night, C finds his friends, armed with Molotov cocktails, planning a violent attack. Although he joins them, he struggles internally with the idea of backing out without looking weak. At a traffic light, Sonny suddenly pulls up and aggressively forces C out of the car. When Slick tries to intervene, Sonny punches him and warns the rest to stay away from C. Back at the bar, someone tells C that Jane had come by looking for him. He hurries out and finds her. Jane explains that she heard what C did, protecting her brother during the fight. Their bond grows stronger as they share a kiss. As C reflects on Jane unlocking the car door for him, passing the door test, he realizes that his friends are in serious danger. Meanwhile, Slick and the rest of the group carry out their plan, attacking a predominantly black neighborhood. They throw Molotovs and fire shots wildly, but one of the bombs malfunctions and explodes inside their own car, killing them instantly. When C arrives at the scene, he finds the lifeless bodies of his friends. The sight overwhelms him with grief and confusion. Back at the bar, he walks into a party in full swing. As he tries to push through the crowd, he notices a suspicious man approaching Sonny. C tries to warn him, but it's too late. The man shoots Sonny, It's the son of the guy Sonny had killed years ago in front of Calogero. At Sonny's funeral, C is disturbed by how indifferent most of the attendees seem. He stands alone, quietly mourning. Suddenly, Carmine approaches. He introduces himself as the new boss of the territory and tells C that Sonny always spoke highly of him. He offers his support, hinting that Sonny's legacy lives on in C. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a recap. See you in the next one.